Question 29. 31% of our students got this question correct on the mock exam. Two functions are given below. So here are two functions. F of x equals negative 4x plus 1. G of x equals negative 4x plus a half. How does the graph of f compare with the graph of g? So I'm trying to figure out how these two graphs compare with each other, and you see a bunch of different descriptions of how they can compare to each other. So two ways you can do this. First, you could try putting this into the calculator. So notice I've already got it set up over here. I went to y equals, I put the first equation up here, I pressed enter, I put the second equation over here. So these are my two equations. I'm going to graph them. Okay, so I'm going to graph it. There's my first line. There's my second line. Hopefully you caught that. That was really quick. If not, play it again. The second line is really close to the first line. They're definitely two different lines, but they're so close it's hard to tell. So I'm going to use a trick on the calculator. I'm going to zoom my screen in so I can see more up closely what's going on. So just press zoom right here. I'm going to do zoom in. That's number 2. So I'm going to press number 2, or I can use the arrow down and then press enter. I'm going to zoom in. It's going to ask where you want to zoom in. The cursor is flashing right at the origin, 0, 0. So I'm going to zoom in right there, press enter. It's going to zoom in. There's my first line. There's my second line. Now I can see this more clearly. The first line, which is right here, negative 4x plus 1. And then here's my second line, right here, negative 4x plus a half. So here are my answer choices. The graph of f is less steep than the graph of g. No, they're not less steep. They're the same steepness. The graph of f has the same y-intercept. Do they really have the same y-intercept? Do they really start the same exact point? No, of course not. One of them starts here at positive 1. One of them starts here at positive a half. C. The graph of f is parallel to the graph of g. Yes, these two lines are parallel lines. So the answer choice is C. That is the correct answer. D. The graph of f is steeper. Nope, they're the same steepness. So you could use the calculator to look at the graphs and determine it. The other way you could answer this question is just by looking at this graph. If you remember that whenever two lines have the same exact slope and different y-intercepts, that means those two lines are going to be parallel lines. They're going at the same exact rate when they move to the next points. So the answer choice is C. Graph of f is parallel.